I've noticed that no one has started eating except for the children. They are on to something. Please go and help yourselves.
Tonight there'll be music mixed with eating, and then at around 8:30 we're going to do a raffle, and we're going to wrap up and have some more music after that.
And if any of you guys are still paying attention to what I'm saying, and have thought to yourselves, gee, that sounds interesting, I wouldn't mind joining that. Well, if you guys are interested in joining the residence committee, you can talk to Julie. Her contact information is at the information table at the back here. Thank you. Yeah. It is a periodic volunteer commitment, so we meet on average about once a month. And while it does require time and effort from what I've experienced, it is really, really rewarding and really fun. And if I haven't already sold you, there is free food at the meetings. So, there we go.
Right, so now this is the most spectacular part of the evening. We'd like to invite the Neighbourhood Small Grant applicants and participants to share their stories. So whoever would like to come up first and get the event rolling, welcome you to the stage.
Hi everybody, I'm Ann Casey, I'm from Dunbar, and I'm participating in 2 Neighbourhood Small Grants, and thank you guys so much for letting us do this. It's been fantastic. So the first one is the Dunbar Seed Saving, and we're working in close collaboration with the Kitsilano Seed Saving Group, and the idea is that we're going to work together with other people who are interested in learning about seed saving and sharing seeds. To that end, we've started a group. We've got about 10 people that meet on a monthly basis. We've already started seed sharing, collecting, and we are planning on running a workshop, and we really intend on this continuing on forward. It's
Next program, and so I'm very, very happy to be here with you this evening. And I have the great pleasure of actually introducing you to an incredibly important person who is involved in the program this year as well. As many of you know, there was an opportunity to apply for Neighbourhood Small Grants projects focused specifically on green initiatives. And that was thanks to a partnership with the City of Vancouver. So we're really honored this evening to actually have Councillor Andrea Reimer with us this evening. So please join me in welcoming her.
Thanks, Mariko. It's really, the honor really is all mine to join all of you this evening. This is such a fabulous, I walked in, I took the bus over here, I live over by Trout Lake. And it's kind of cold out and I didn't dress warm enough and I was walking as fast as I could. I remembered it being a little closer to McDonald's. And walked in and it was just so lovely, like the smell in here and seeing all the people helping each other to food and older folks helping younger folks, and I needed some water and someone just let me go get it, which never really happens in my life as a city councillor. So thank you to all of you for creating this community. I'm a city councillor. I work with Mayor Gregor Robertson. Part of my great joy in life is being able to lead his initiative around the greenest city, the effort that the city has to be the greenest city in the world by the year 2020. And this past year, that effort has been ongoing since we were first elected in 2008. We had a plan that we put together that involved 35,000 residents, over 170 organizations. And the reason we did all of that outreach is because we knew the plan would only be as successful as people's ability to mobilize it. So we can build bike lanes, we can build Canada lines, we can do compost as a city initiative, but none of it actually matters unless you guys actually want to bike, or want to take transit, or want to do compost, or want to do community gardening. I started this group to make sure that people know how to prepare for an earthquake. And so Jerry Thompson was talking about the fault itself, and then we also had Ann Casey talking about what's actually happening in Vancouver. So she was the one who kind of got started the Dunbar group, the Dunbar Earthquake and Emergency Preparedness Group. So she had lots of information about how to get started with these preparedness groups. And so we had her talk about what's going on in Vancouver and how we can get these neighborhood groups started.
Hello, I'm the chair of the Kitsilano Community Garden. It's the oldest community garden in the city of Vancouver. It was established in 1984. We have about 50 core members, everyone from teenagers up to, I think, our oldest member is about 90. We grow organic food. very small operating budget, so things wear out and have to fundraise in order to keep things updated. And we've always wanted to have a sign, so this grant allowed us to create this beautiful sign. It's going to go on our garden. Okay. And we had a bunch of little signs made that point to sort of interesting places in the garden. This points to the Hobbit tree, which is kind of a magical tree in the garden. And we also had a beautiful arbor built with our grant. So it was fantastic. Thank you very much.
So my project was with John Pesichin, another member of the Kitsilano Community Garden, and we needed some new compost bins. You can see a picture of the old bins there to get it moving. So we chose to purchase some gift certificates from David Hunter so that we can buy our herbs early in the spring. And we had a whole team who came in and deconstructed the old bins. And then we had some bins custom built, rodent resistant, so we're not going to have any rat issues.
So it was a one-shot occasion just to get together and bring that basket of mending that you never quite get to, bringing it together to sit with friends and neighbors and make new acquaintances and get advice about how best to deal with that, or whether it's worth even trying to fix that elbow. Our main success, I think, before we even started, was that I met Elaine. We hadn't even met in person before we put in the proposal.
My name is Russell. I'm fairly new to Vancouver. I got involved in Neighbourhood Small Grants through the drop-in skating events.
An excellent usage of taxpayers' money, because I think in the end they reduce some of these emergencies, calls for safety that might not be necessary if we all know our neighbors. So thank you very much, Village Vancouver, and thank you to the Neighbourhood Small Grants Program. I'm really appreciative.
So hi, when Andrew talked about the yarn bomber, yes, that's me, so you can see that coming. I just want to say that this grant that I held was yarn bomber, so we're going to take out art and install it in public. My name is Nathan, by the way. Thanks, I will take that out. So a lot of interesting people came to the workshop. We had an 85-year-old woman who crochets here at that, and she had a crochet book that her grandmother had passed down for generations. So I have some of the pictures from the workshop. A lot of people have smartphones, and you don't really need that. All you need is some knitting needles and yarn. So we had people, beginner knitters most of the time, because not everybody knows how to knit. So we had to teach a few people. A lot of things came out of this workshop. So I was in the Courier, I went to City Chronicles, and I wasn't exactly happy about those things. I was kind of nervous, but I think I got over it well. So there's a lot of things that make us so. So that's pretty much it. A lot of things, but more than last year. So thank you.
Hi everybody. My name is Elizabeth, and I got a grant to do a history project. So a group of folks came together and we kind of made our own study group and learned about local history in the neighborhood. And it was really exciting. We learned about a lot of different things. And we've basically met 4 times. At the last workshop, we made a collage. And I just wanted to show you a couple of things from the collage. And you probably won't be able to see it in great detail, but it will give you a sense of what we worked on. So this is going backwards, actually. This is the last piece of the collage. And some of the stuff we learned about was history, hippie history, and some kind of more recent history.
Hi, I'm Laura Lee Coles, and first of all, I'd like to thank Kids Neighborhood House and the Vancouver Foundation for this wonderful opportunity. We got a green fund grant, and our project was to take locomotive art, which is well, actually it's 2 things, but we did a project at Tatlow Park, And Locomotor is two things. It's an artist collective, but it's also an independent powered system that we recharge our batteries with solar panels. And it allows artists, electronic artists, to go into natural settings. We've been in caves, forests, and beach areas. And our project allowed us to go into Tatlow Park. There's nothing up. Allowed us to go into Tatlow Park, where we were able to bring in 7 different artists from the Vancouver area. Robots, and they were interactive. So as people walk by them, they can hear the chatter of magpies.
My name is Diane Dixon, and I'm going to talk about Linden Tree Place rooftop garden. And behind me, this is the finish. This is what it looks like right now. This is the brand new building that we moved into just starting in June. So the garden committee was made up of 4 people at that point. And we got together and decided that we wanted to plant something. So we got some planting and we did some seeds and we got some bulbs in. And as the place got full, Linden Tree Place got full, we ended up with 15 people on the garden committee. And we were so lucky, we got more and more talent. At the beginning, I was the only gardener. So everyone looked to me as, there she is. She can tell us. And I kept saying, no, I garden, but I am not the expert. Luckily, other people joined that had as much knowledge as I did. And then we had Ray, who joined, who was a carpenter and an engineer. And my favorite picture of Ray is in his electric motor chair, and they motor when they're in it, coming from Coe's Lumber all the way to our place, Linden Tree Place, with lumber underneath his 2x4s underneath his wheelchair. Foundation, and also
did something really interesting about how we knew about all the culture, all the food that we have in many other cultures, especially about the food. We also went someplace, Iranian place, we went for Venezuelan place to know about the culture, about the food, and we tried some too. And yeah, we have people from the 5 continents in the world, and we did something really interesting about how we knew about all the culture, all the food that we have in those countries. We share a lot of time cooking especially, but we also learn about all our cultures, all our costumes, and all our interests.
It's a great community. I think that's the best part of the whole community lunch idea. It's for fellowship as well as a good meal. And we do give good meals. There's 2 of us who do the cooking, and the other lady is a Mary as well. And she, in her previous life, was a nutritionist, a dietitian. And so she does. We alternate who does the main course and who does the salad and the desserts each month. We've had some awesome meals. In fact, one meal that I did the entree for, I received 2 proposals of marriage. I did have to tell the fellow that I was already married, but he really enjoyed the meal that I had prepared. You have to be very careful about what you do amongst some people. But I'm so appreciative that we got this grant. While we are our lunches are held at Knox United Church at 41st and Balaclava. We are not part of the Knox budget. It's just people will contribute money to keep this ministry ongoing.
Introduce my mother, who is in the back table, Lily Brown, because this grant and what we're doing is really a multi-generational thing. My mom being the inspiration, and my children being hopefully the benefactors of what we're doing. And what this is a 4th annual in sort of a series of annual events that I basically organize, means to can and jam fresh food. And then at the end of it, we have a big dinner. together with friends. And it's been, especially in the early years, it's been a challenge to get people to come out to the canning and the jamming part. They're really happy to come to the social dinner at the end, and it's a potluck, and we have a great time. But that's why my goal when I applied for this grant was, if 5 people can come and make jam and can fruit with me, I consider that a success. And that may sound small, but it's a small step, and I hope to keep this event going. And this is Susan and myself, and Stefan, and Susan is the wife of Mike Wesky, who is another inspiration for this. A bit more evidence.
This is actually from seven of us. Each create different parts, so together it almost like a puzzle, and together it become a house for Kitsilano Neighborhood house. And this one would be the heart. I kind of thinking Vancouver Foundation is come from your heart to give such a program. So then this is what I like to.
Thank you very much.
It was for us to have and largely take care of the bees, but to include neighbors, family, and other friends and community in learning about bees and what's involved in keeping them. The first one showed actually a workshop that we hosted that another small grant recipient was the main organizer for beekeeping education classes that went to different gardens and where bees were being kept. So one of the problems that we had is that the teacher who was heading up the project wasn't able to get a full-time position back at the school this year. So she initiated it last year, and we got things going in April or so. But she wasn't able to get a full-time position. So the challenge has been, how do we keep this going? And what I've been working on is trying to set up a garden team and to get it into the garden community, or in the school community with the administration and the custodial staff and all that, so that we can actually work the compost in and develop a green plan for the school for school lunch wastes and things like that. So.
And I've worked on about 5 or 6 neighborhood small grants. So the one that I did this year that was really fun, you just saw some photos, there's us in our bee suits. They're not hazmat suits, they're bee suits. And what we did was we started the Kids Urban Bee Collaborative. What I wanted to do was use these grants that are happening to join people up all over the place. So there's a lot of people that keep bees in their backyard, in community gardens, and I wanted us all to work together, and I wanted people to know each other. So like if you're thinking about getting bees, you could come. I used part of the grant for us to have beekeeping classes with a guy who's kept bees for 40 years, 50 years. He runs Bee and Bloom Apiary. He's right in Kits. His name is Marcus. I invited him tonight, but he's not here. And he taught us beekeeping classes. Like fresh honey from the hive is the most incredible thing you'll ever put in your mouth. So even if you don't want to have your own beehive, I suggest that you come and help out with the other, I've lured some people to come and help out with tending the hives because you get to eat incredible, incredible honey. whole series of women filmmakers where people came and met the filmmakers and had potlucks. And then I did another one this year that's still ongoing that was mostly about food security. But then I have a lot of documentaries at my house because I review documentaries for film festivals. So then people came and they just started saying, oh, but I want to see this film. I want to see this film. So then it became like whoever came to the potlucks could pick whichever films we were going to see.
It was awesome. Is there anybody here from Carousel? No, you guys beat Carousel hands down. We were up there today, and lovely, lovely. Showboat. Okay, next one. What local arts venue has over 32 nights of free summer entertainment since 1935? What local arts venue has an audience of over 35,000 a year? Come on, Locke, I only have 28 minutes left. What venue, local arts venue, has entertained 1.5 million people since 1935? What local venue has visitors from all over every corner of the world? You guys are pretty good at this game. But to be honest, it's through the efforts of groups like the Kids Neighbourhood House, the NSG grant, and thank goodness for the Vancouver Foundation that have made all of this possible in bringing our community together the way we see it today. Thank you so much, you guys.
I was funded to do a project, which was a workshop that came to be known as the Heart of Belonging. The purpose of the workshop was to focus on what we mean by community, how we feel in terms of our connection and our sense of belonging in the communities that we're part of. And we looked at strategies or ways to promote or enhance our sense of connection in the communities that matter to us in our lives. My goal with the workshop was that people would leave with some skills and ideas on how to create community out there in all the communities that they're part of, knowing that each of us are parts of several communities in our life. I did the workshop 6 times, and we had a total of about 60 people participate. I live in a place called Mackenzie Heights Collective, and the co-sponsor was the My House Collective, and these are 2 collective households here in the Kitsilano neighborhood. And I'm going to ask Maya to say a couple things about what people have said about the workshop, and then we're going to share a story which will give you the idea of what we actually did.
So these were taken from the evaluations that people were asked to fill out at the end of the workshop and kind of summarize some of what people got out of the workshop. Someone said, more results than I expected, great benefits, activities, hands-on, are fun and educational. I'm eager to bring these new ideas to my life. Simply talking about community opens my heart. The very topic caused me to feel supported and accepted right from the start. Another person wrote, great workshop, recommend it to others as a useful reminder about belonging and community.
We did drop-in spaghetti nights, and the whole idea behind that was to bring community members within the neighborhood of Kitsilano together by sharing food, and especially through promoting the use of local food service. So basically we had the grant-supported hosts, the different community members of Kitsilano hosting meals that they prepared in their kitchen, trying to source the ingredients as locally as possible, something trying to do the 100-mile diet but not necessarily being bound to it. And the whole point was to have one meal cooked on one stove with different people coming together and meeting new people and talking about the idea of local food and what that means for community as well as for sustainability.
So I'm just curious, how many of you, if you could walk to your neighbor's house and have a free meal cooked by your neighbor and meet a bunch of the people in your community, how many of you would be up for that? All right, so I would say in this crowd, maybe 90% of the people are up for it. And you think, like, if you think about how many people there are in Kitsilano, right? So say you guys are slightly non-representational because you're here at the potluck, right? So let's say even 10% of Kitsilano is up for walking to a neighbor's house, having a free meal, and meeting a bunch of their community. You think that would be a huge community, wouldn't you?
Hi, my name is Rieter, not Wheeler. I received a Neighbourhood small grant to create a medicinal herb garden and to offer workshops in the community on how to create tinctures and teas and other wonderful home remedies like that. And went and started to dig up the garden. The neighbors called Sarah up and were sort of like, "This is our garden, what's going on?" And they had never actually registered for it. So it was an interesting challenge, and since that happened, as it was into August by that time, we've been looking for new garden places, and we've been in contact with Village Vancouver and Kit's House about doing some stuff on their roof as well. And so we're hoping in the spring to actually have some garden space in the community and to offer these workshops.
Hi, I'm Michelle. This is Jenny. This is Lynn, and that's Christine. Our project is called Boulevard Veg. It stands for Boulevard Vancouver Edible Gardens. And so basically we built 28 planter boxes, and we sold them for $5 each to people all over Vancouver so that they could start their own vegetable gardens on the boulevards. Our presentation is a bit long, so we're not going to explain every slide, but we'll play through it. And we'll start with our goals. So we had 6 major goals that we accomplished through the project.
Bees. Other people have talked about bees. 2 years ago, a younger woman got in touch with me. For years, my wife and I had a plot at the Maple Community Gardens on 6th. And this young woman wanted to establish a beehive and needed a place for it. And so she was put in touch with me. I've been learning about bees and hosting bees in my backyard. And we got a grant to establish a hive. And we were really good beekeepers to the point where our bees started swarming. And all of the people in the community garden started flipping out. There are bees everywhere. It's dangerous. We're going to get stung. People are afraid of bees. And we taught them that when bees are swarming, they're very docile. You're very unlikely to get stung. All they want to do is protect their queen. So we brought this community from a place of being afraid of bees to a group of people that are really proud of the bees that are there and feel that they're shepherds for bees and that they know that when bees are swarming, that's a good thing, that they're going to populate elsewhere. And there are so many new neophyte beekeepers like we are, that swarms of bees are going to be a pretty common thing on Neighbourhood now.
Our block is the 3500 block of West 16th and West 17th. And it's an event that the block has been going on for, I think, over 15 years, and we've been there for 12 now. And so what we did with our project was to get some entertainment, but for our party, we usually have like a garage sale in the morning, and then we have a potluck dinner in the evening. And it's just a really great way to reconnect with our neighbors that surprisingly we don't see year-round. Really safe there, and we love it there. We weren't planning on staying, but we're there, and we don't have any plans to go. So this is our potluck dinner table that everyone brings food to.
Firstly, we are trying to find underused sewing machines that can be made available to community members free of charge. And secondly, we'd like to bring together people who know how to sew to teach those wanting to learn how to sew. And so far, we've been able to find 3 different machines and refurbish them, and we have 1 teacher.
So, if you have anything to donate to the group, we welcome
we welcome everything. And if you know of anyone who can teach sewing, or you don't have to be a very experienced sewer, but just share what you know with people who are wanting to learn, definitely get in touch. My contact information is in the project guide, and we have a Facebook page, so if you're on Facebook, definitely like us and then suggest that friends like us so that we can get a little bit of exposure for the group. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Charlotte. I'm with the Seed Saving Library, which is at the back of the room where the table where you started off in line. And I want to say right away before I forget, thank you to Kit's Neighbourhood House and the Vancouver Foundation for helping us get the library started and to continue it. The library has traveled, the library box has traveled a lot this summer to lots of places. I'll mention some of them. One was the West Side Community Food Market at 8th and Vine. That was every Thursday during the summer. We were there most Thursdays. Kit's Collaborative Gardens, the Billy Bishop Garden, it was there. We led a workshop regarding seeds that weekend. So there's been a really high interest in gardening and seeds, both beginners and experienced gardeners, both young and old. And it's been a great way to share information, and people I've seem to be getting more aware of the value of seeds, and that we are losing our diversity of seeds, and that is kind of the next step that we need to take, is to save local seeds that are do well in our area.
Hi everybody, I'm Elaine, and I'm here because I got a grant to do West Side Community Kitchen. To keep it in a nutshell, we had about 7 gatherings, small, intimate, fun groups, meeting at St. Mark's Kitchen. And that was phase 1, based on getting a half share of a CSA, community-supported agriculture, box of vegetables every couple of weeks over the summer, late summer. And the challenge for us was that we didn't know until the box arrived what was going to be in the box of vegetables. So it made a little bit of an interesting evening trying to decide what we were going to cook, having no prior knowledge and no recipes at hand.
So thank you so much for sharing a part of who you are and what you're interested in. I also want to, of course, thank the Vancouver Foundation for partnering with us and giving us the means to put all these amazing projects into place through all these amazing people. So thank you, Vancouver Foundation, tonight in the form of Lydia and Mariko. $10 gift certificate to Cobb's, and the number is 765040. Or whoever's closest to that. We might be here a while. 765053. Seriously, guys? Yeah. Whoa! You get bread! And then, of course, I want to thank the resident committee members themselves. So I have a few little gift cards for them. So resident committee members, if you could stop what it is you're doing or not doing and briefly run over here so I can thank you. And everyone else can put their hands together for you because you guys are awesome and dedicate so many hours to this amazing program. Thank you. So just in wrapping up, thank you so much for being here and for being part of this amazing Neighborhood Small Grants program, which is made possible not only by the Vancouver Foundation, but by all of your passion and energy and time. We really appreciate it, and we hope that you will be applying again next spring if we receive more money from the Vancouver Foundation.